Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday, September 5th, 2024. We are back with Paul.
Hi, I'm still here.
Paul is still here. Paul won't be here for much longer.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, we'll be ending the stream a little earlier than usual to make sure that Paul gets to the airport on time. But he's still here. So if anyone wasn't here Tuesday and was like, wait a minute, I have a burning transportation question, Paul might be able to answer it.
Burning during transportation is generally a bad thing, so...
Have you ever had any, brushes with danger in travel?
Not super. I've had 2 planes that have had to return to the airport, shortly after takeoff. One due to some electrical system thing, one due to, their navigation stuff went out.
Yeah.
And that second one made the fun fact, that was in, I think, 2019. My lowest elevation flight, because we only got to 10 or 11,000 feet or something, was lower than my highest elevation drive, because I drove up Mount Evans in Colorado, which is 14,000 feet, so I'd driven higher than I'd flown, at least for one flight and one drive.
Someone had asked if you had bus experience, and I just think of the story where you had a...
Yeah. I was flying from Wichita Falls, Texas, so kind of north central Texas, but not the Panhandle. Had a short flight to Dallas-Fort Worth for a layover to get home. And while we were waiting for our flight in Wichita Falls, the flight got canceled. And since it was only a 50-seat regional jet anyway, the airline pretty much just called a local taxi company, rented 4 or 5 15-passenger vans, and drove us from Wichita Falls to Dallas, which was an hour and 45 minutes, and I still made my connection. And also, I had a boarding pass for that literally said American Flight 9000 something, operated by a bus.
That's one of my favorite stories.
Me too.
Because it's just so ridiculous.
And it is not in my flight log because, per my flight log definitions, I don't count a flight unless it leaves the ground. So,
if only they would have hit a ramp.
I know.
Then it would have
done some GTA stunts in that. In that van.
I don't know if there's a lot of ramps around Wichita Falls.
It's a pretty flat part of the country.
Yeah. Yeah. Did you end up keeping that ticket or that boarding pass?
It was a digital one, so I don't have the pass, but I do have the screenshot from the American Airlines app showing the flight number and the operated by a bus.
Yeah,
that's out on, if someone wants to go to my website, the 100 airports, go to SPS Wichita Falls, and the screenshot should be in there.
It's really great. I've always really loved that. We got a few things to read this morning. We got 50 months from Elfie Goldfish. We had an early morning raid from Zachman. Thank you, Zachman. 43 months from Quill in the Stars. 72 months from Brondo93. That's a 6. And then 72 months also from Dishnet34, which is also a 6. Yesterday was very specifically the 6-year streaming anniversary for this channel. So I've been doing this for 72 months. And that's exciting, but not as exciting as this snack.
Add excitement to your midday routine with Tiny Eddie's Fuzzy Watermelon Loaf.
No thanks.
Oh no. I try to make it a goal to not eat fuzzy loaves. If the
Watermelon.
It's watermelon flavor. Why is watermelon in quotes? Don't worry about it. 1,000 bits from Elvin Scout says, good morning and good vibes from New York. We know the deal by this point. It's Tiny Eddie divination time. Cast ye forth them greedy bones of fate and tell my future. Fun fact, Eddie has yet to be wrong. Oh. Well, you might have mold in your future if you're getting a fuzzy loaf.
Future.
Your midday. Yeah, be careful this afternoon. Morning, fine. Evening, fine. But this afternoon.
Would be exciting.
What? Yeah. I mean, there is some level of excitement whenever I discover that there's mold on something. I'm like, can't eat this. Briefly fun. We got 44 months from Cody the Positron, 72 months from DC20 Will Save, Congrats on 6. 4 months from Zeljan255. 51 from Phoenix Zuzo. 21 from Little Miss Musique. 3 bits from Tricky Anthea. It says, so remember how I mentioned I got a temp job in the same exact building as my previous job with the company that bought them after bankruptcy? Anyway, just got confirmation they're keeping me. Funny how life works out sometimes. Nice. That's gotta be... Well, I was gonna say it's gotta be weird, but it's also gotta be familiar. Maybe it's not that weird. You just go into the same place. Things haven't changed as much as you thought they would, basically.
Just the name.
Just the name. Well, I'm glad that worked out. We also had 72 months from Phelps out 7. Congrats on 6. 13 months from Mathman. 61 from Tricky Anthea. 500 bits from Arcane Leo with the Mail Makes Dance Star Rain. 15 months from Young Granny. 20 months from Jams on Twitch. 62 from Somber Mink. And then 72 months from Marvel 410. And 48 months from Starbloom Faye, with the 6 and 4 respectively. Thanks, everyone. Oh, well, happy birthday, Bryce. Bryce turned 20. First time chat. Happy birthday. There's also an art in the queue, and I do not know what this is. Let me make it appear. Ah, yes. I want you to advertise your game for Extra Life. Yeah, Big Feared Balloon pushed for Overlord Dark Legends last year, and it got played. The Extra Life is just a hair over 2 months away, so we're kind of getting close to it.
Oh, Stephen.
Oh, nice! Found the Operated by a Bus.
It's up here in the blue.
I love that. That's fantastic. Good find. Good find. Yeah,
Coffee!
Extra Life's in just a little over 2 months. I got the GameCubes back.
Right, the GameCubes are back.
And the GameCubes are back, but I haven't yet got the N64 back. My assumption is because it's modded, and we're still waiting on that to happen. So, is it the first? It's November 9th.
Was the only thing wrong with it the third port?
There were 2 GameCubes.
No. Oh, the GameCube. Okay, I thought it was the N64 port.
No,
the one that said
port.
funky on the phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, the N64's problem is that it just randomly shuts off. I think there's a power supply issue, so I think that's what needs fixed. But also, it has an RGB mod in it, so like I don't know if there's something weird going on with the motherboard or something. But one of the GameCubes, my childhood GameCube, the laser stopped working, so it just wouldn't read discs anymore. And that was bad. And then the other GameCube I have, which is an HDMI modded GameCube, was completely fine except for the fact that the third controller port was busted.
And made one of my favorite moments ever.
Yeah. That is the reason that Dan flatlined during the Mario Party minigame with
the draw with the color pencil
with the
or
crayon.
The crayon. Yeah.
Have you tried not having a GameCube?
All the time, Haley.
Have you tried not owning video games? We've tried. We're just not very good at it.
Yeah, you've failed a little bit.
We have failed that. 30 bits from Will Peters. It says, Part 1. Paul, hypothetically, a city paid you $5 billion to live in it. You would only have to live there for a year and only get paid once you fully moved in. Said city is located at the bottom of a 1,000-foot deep hole. The hole itself isn't big enough for an airport. You can drive out of the hole if you need to go somewhere, but it is a long drive. Would you do it?
What about helicopters? Are helicopters acceptable in this scenario?
I mean, if you can drive out of it and the issue is that you can't fly, my assumption is that a helicopter would be just fine.
Mm-hmm. But even with no helicopter, yeah, for $5 billion, yeah, I could live a year.
I would probably be able to live there the rest of my life if I was paid $5 billion, because
Yeah.
I would use that money to leave.
You use that money to fill in the hole and raise the city.
I love that. Yeah, there's enough money to take care of things. We had 23 months from Richard Ashby. Appreciate it. And I can see that something is going to happen. I just don't know when or what exactly. What's a word you can't say? Paul, what's a word you can't say?
Well, I'm going to say it, but I can't.
That's such a ball joke. Vagabond, incredible.
Wow. That was great. That was great. That was
I met the requirements.
That was so much better than I could have ever hoped for. Now, the real journey is someone rewatching the tape and trying to read lips and figure out what the song actually was. Vagabond,
Let me know.
You said that live on stream.
Yeah, let me know if you figure out what I said, because I don't know what I said.
Watermelon 50 times. We don't normally get morning songs, so that's like one of the best morning songs we've ever had. I thought this was a child-friendly channel. Not today, not while Paul's here. Mm-hmm. That was 6,000 bits from Cool Owl. Says this one's for Paul. What's a word you can't say? We can't repeat it.
Nope.
No.
We can't even repeat it. It's a little too filthy. We also had 64 months from Death Sun Lee. Thank you. Speaking of things that we that we can't repeat, things that are a little out there. Did anyone see the Minecraft trailer? Because there's a Minecraft movie happening, and the trailer occurred, and I think it's different than people were expecting it to be.
This is news to me, so.
Oh, really?
I haven't seen it.
It's I don't know how to explain it. There is a vague Minecraft sense, and Jack Black is Steve.
Oh.
And like it's live action. I should really clarify that first. It's a live action Minecraft film, and it looks, based on the trailer, that some kids and adults walk through a portal, and then they wind up in the Minecraft world, and then eventually they meet Jack Black, who is Steve, and he still like has his beard and is Jack Black, but he has a blue shirt on.
Is he all blocky?
No, he's just Jack Black.
Okay.
All of the humans are just humans. They're just in the Minecraft world, and it doesn't look exactly like the game. It's a little different. There are some weird, realistic looking, like Minecraft animals that are like slightly blocky. Yeah, it's interesting. Jack Black does play himself very well.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that he's just being asked more and more to participate and be involved in movies without really needing to do any additional work. We just need you to put this blue shirt on and just, your name is Steve this time. He says, are we going to see it in 4D? You know that they tore down the only 4D theater we had, right? We went and saw Twisters in 4D. It was the only theater in Raleigh that had a 4D theater.
Wow.
That pink sheep.
That is something.
Yeah, if you can get like a photo of Jack Black as Steve, we can show it on screen for anyone that hasn't seen this. Anyway, the 4D theater that we had, we went and saw Twisters. They tore it down. Tappan says they tore it down 6 weeks after you saw them. Oh, they tore it down. They closed it like 1 week after.
It was the end of the month.
Ironically, a tornado took it out.
Extremely isolated tornado in one spot. Yeah, it was. It's they had been planning to shut down that theater for a long time.
Yeah, apparently.
And they kept pushing it back, and then we went and saw Twisters, and then like a week later it was closed because we were driving by it and Dan was talking about it, and I was like, "Oh, that's closed." He's like, "What do you mean that's closed? We just saw Twisters." I was like, "Oh no, it's closed now." So there are no more 4D movies in Raleigh, and that's probably fine. Mm-hmm. Did you ever get a chance to experience a 4D movie?
I have not. Is the fourth dimension time?
You just have to watch
watch a 3D movie.
Chaz, don't tell me that.
Yeah, we saw a 4D film, and basically it was you're in the seat, and the seat goes crazy, and it's matched to the things.
It's like a lot of turbulence.
There's like wind that blows, and there's supposed to be water that sprays on you, but where we were seated, there was no water happening. But as Chaz points out, it's possible that the water lines hadn't been cleaned in forever, so maybe that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. All of the people that were in the splash zone have been ill for 2 months. We had 72 months from JCJX. Congrats on 6. And 52 months from Josh R2D2. Thank you. Renee says, I could bring a squirt bottle and sit in front of you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did say that you could emulate this experience at home. Just have someone violently shake you while you watch an action movie. And it would be a similar thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. RP
just
says,
sit on a motion controller.
Get out your Res controller. RP says another streamer I watched said Twisters 4D was his favorite movie experience, and I am just flabbergasted. It was fun. I had fun. I don't think it was a very good movie.
Yep, I saw. My experience with Twisters is I saw someone watching it on the plane seat in front of me with no audio. So that's how I experience a lot of movies.
I have done that a few different times as well. Like, there's been times where me and Mal have been on a plane, and like I'm doing something,
mm-hmm.
but then I look up and like I'm watching Mal watch the movie, and then I get sucked in just a little bit, and then before I know it, I've watched the entire movie. And I haven't even heard it. Sometimes Mal will be like, do you want to like listen to the thing? And I'm like, no, I'm doing something. And then I just don't ever listen to it. It's fine. My favorite experience of watching a movie on a plane was when Mal and I were watching European Vacation. We were watching They had European Vacation on a plane, and we had seen the Vacation film, the original, because Mal hadn't seen it, and we watched it. And I was like, oh, the European Vacation, we should watch this. This is the next one that they made. And we were playing it, and we got right to the part with nudity when an in-flight announcement came on. So then Mal and I just have like these breasts on in front of each of our screens, and they're just staying there, and they're like, It's like a nice long announcement.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Wouldn't be the worst thing I've seen on screens in a plane. Turns out people in window seats like to watch things on their device with their device pointed away from you and also reflecting off of the window. More than once.
Yeah, I bet you've
More than once.
I bet you've just seen some things when you travel as much as you do.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious if you have any stories about anyone that's been particularly... It could be particularly rude or just particularly strange.
Did I shared the cheese story?
The cheese story?
Well, let me know if I'm repeating something. Had a flight. It was at get on the plane, and then I was I ended up giving up my seat to like let a family sit together. So I was sitting in a middle seat. The plane was super, super warm, and then the guy that sat next to me in the aisle, pretty much like once we started taxiing, brought out a block of like soft cheese, like in the plastic wrapper, tore the corner off of it, and proceeded to slurp this like soft, super fragrant cheese over the next like 15 minutes in this super warm airplane. I have not been airsick on a commercial flight, but that was about the closest I have come.
Yeah, I've heard this story before. It is a really great story. Yeah, and I'm sure there's people that haven't heard it before. Yeah, slurping cheese just in general is pass. It's going to be a hard pass.
But also, even without the slurping and the scent, like who just eats an entire, like pound block of cheese? So,
in college,
well, he was not college aged.
In college, I made that mistake once, but otherwise, no. Yeah, that's pretty. Andy, some of us like cheese, okay? Yeah, in college, I had bought a pound block of cheddar. I just had an epiphany that I could eat cheese, I guess, and I had taken it into my dorm room with a knife and was just like cutting off like little pieces and eating it, and then at some point realized that I just ate the whole pound of cheese. I remember that Alex was very concerned.
Should have done it on a plane.
At least it wouldn't have been as fragrant.
Yeah.
Hey, Haley, hearing what happens when men go to college is so sad. Let's just assume that that's my saddest college story. Let's just assume that.
Yep, let's assume.
Let's assume that there's nothing sadder that happened. Do you have any interesting college stories from your time at Rose-Hulman?
So there were a couple summers that I was there. One I told you about the fast track calculus during the summer last 2 days ago.
Yeah.
And then there was a different summer where between junior and senior year, I just had a local job in the area, and the college would let you live on campus over the summer for like $300. So I did that.
That's good.
So Rose-Hulman is not that big of a school, but it's like an hour from Indianapolis, and I don't know if they still do, but the Indianapolis Colts, the football team, did their summer training at Rose-Hulman in their athletic facilities. So 2 summers I was there while the Colts were there. That fast track summer, it was because it was such a small school, we only had one cafeteria, so all they did was they just put like a little 4-foot high cubicle wall down the middle of the cafeteria, but we were eating on one side, the Colts were eating on the other side. We could just see each other across the room. And then we come in one day into this cafeteria, and on the Colts side of the cafeteria, there's those, 90s like CRT TV on a giant cart things. There's like 5 of those.
Yeah. With
PlayStations hooked up. And it turns out, and you'll all probably know better than I will, whoever had the license to make NFL games at that time, I guess it would have been 2002, would bring it out and let like the players try it out before the game was released. And so one lunch, I'm just sitting eating lunch in the cafeteria, watching the Indianapolis Colts play PlayStation of themselves. That was one of the most bizarre lunches I've ever had. So
I really like that. Yeah, also just the concept of someone like playing a video game that they're in, like for athletes, is that must be a strange feeling, but to do it on like a 90s CRT cart, everything.
Yep.
It's like
in a college cafeteria.
Yeah, that's what that's what you get excited for as a kid when they wheel in the TV, because you're like, oh, we're not doing anything today, we're watching a movie. It's like, we're playing PlayStation versions of ourselves. We had 300 bits from Satsy. It says, so update from Tuesday. I'm getting the money from the scam refunded after 2 bozos claimed to be cleaners, charged a lump sum, and left chicken in the sink. I should be more mad, but I'm the true clown here. New cleaners arrived Saturday, hoping they're also not scummy.
It sounds like you got a free chicken, though.
They came and they cleaned with chicken. That would be a little wild. Well, I'm glad you got your money refunded, and I hope that the new cleaners are better. Although it sounds like it would be hard for them to be worse.
Mm-hmm.
So you're probably in good shape from here on out. We had 300 bits from Gadzooks. It says strange baseball name of the day is Jung Bong. The Atlanta Braves announcer would say another hit off Bong when he wasn't pitching good, which was quite often. I have enjoyed hearing about very wild baseball names. We got 49 months from Stoop Kid. 3 bits from Chill Days. It says, I sat next to a comedian once on a plane, and he spent the entire flight singing his own name. What? That's the most insane thing I've ever heard in my life.
That has not happened to me, so there you go.
Sorry. Can you reveal who this person was? Dana Carvey! Dana Carvey!
Were they a good singer?
My name is Dana Carvey. Oh my god. Oh god, Setsy says, I don't know where they found the chicken. I hate that. Oh, it's a Norwegian comedian. He's called Espen Thorsen.
That's a good name to sing, though.
That's wild. That's, like, I almost wonder, he was a decent singer, but after an hour of that, that might be the craziest thing I've ever heard happen on a plane. Like, there's several layers of that being a very wild thing. I wonder if maybe that was, like, part of a bit. Like, he's able to do that, and then part of his show, he's like, so I spent 2 hours singing my name on a plane.
He's just trying to come up with his theme song.
That was 15 years ago, and sometimes I still hear that. That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. Mal.
The cake made it to my father. The cake I mailed to my dad for his birthday just made it there.
Oh, good.
Yay.
That got there, what, a day early?
Yeah.
Did you mention that you mailed a cake?
I mailed a cake to my dad.
Yeah. A frostingless...
Yes. The
cake.
frosting was on the side. He has to frost it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's,
I was a little concerned about it going to Florida.
Yeah. Paul was saying that you could have just mailed the batter.
And it would be cooked by the time it got there.
Yeah, Mal made a banana cake. That's something that Mal's dad really likes. Actually, it was wonderful because Mal made 2 banana cakes, and we got one, so we got the chance to eat some of the banana cake, and it was really, really fantastic.
Very good banana cake.
So, yeah. Mal, I was going to ask, since we had asked about interesting college stories, if you had any interesting college stories that you remember. It may not involve, like, the Green Bay Packers playing themselves on a PS1. Or it might, I don't know.
There was one time Haley and I had to take apart a futon, and we didn't have any tools. And we did it just by bending pieces of the futon back and forth until they snapped.
You didn't have a requirement to put the futon back together at the end?
No, we didn't.
Okay.
We were trying to get rid of it permanently.
So you broke a futon.
Yes.
The story is, one time me and Haley broke a futon with our bare hands.
Another time, we forgot a carton of milk in the fridge over the month-long winter break.
Hmm.
And came back. Obviously, it was curdled. We threw it away. And we could see where the dumpsters were for our room, from our room. And so we named it Curdles. Because milk curdles. Mm-hmm. And it didn't really smell. Like, we didn't have that problem, but we just pretended it had become sentient and threw it away. And then we were like, good night, Curdles, and waved out the window at the dumpsters.
Rest in peace, Curdles.
Mm-hmm.
Poor guy. Yeah, I remember in your dorm room, Haley had also... She had a cutout of Barack Obama's face.
Oh, it was like a window cling
like
that
a window
they were giving out because it was when he was running for president. And it was round, and it was like about yay big. And it was like, you know, the hope advertisement.
Poster.
Yeah.
And she had taken an X-Acto knife and cut out where his eyes were, so she could peek out the window right there, because it was right where her desk was, right where she sat.
She called it ObamaVision.
Yeah, she had put a sticker on the backside where it wasn't the design and written ObamaVision. And she's like, now people can't see me when I'm looking out the window at them.
I don't know if there's any photos of that, but it's very good.
Actually.
Oh,
like-
is
it's
there
like-
a photo of that?
Haunted house energy.
Yeah, that's the haunted house I want to go to. We've talked about going to Carowinds in the fall when they do Scarowinds, and I would love to do a haunted house that's just not scary, just kind of weird. That would be fantastic.
The Hall of Wax presidents, but they're actually hollow and people are inside looking at you.
And they can't move, so they just keep going, help, I'm in this president. Let me out. Renee says, during finals week, we had an event where the professors would work in the cafeteria and serve us breakfast for dinner. A male friend and I decided to each wear a child's swimming life preserver tube to the breakfast. There was a slight panic when we could not actually get the thing off when we were done because we were both top heavy. I think there's a video of the freak out somewhere. That's great. I love hearing college stories because there's just enough freedom that there's enough like sense of right and wrong that it's usually not as horrifying as like a high school story, but there's enough freedom to do just weird, bizarre things. I love that. We also had 30 months from Wonder J13 and 58 months from Triforce Drummer.
We ended up having a LAN party at Buffalo Wild Wings once when the campus internet went out, and BW3 had free Wi-Fi at the time, which wasn't super common. So yeah, we just took all our laptops and...
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's very good. I remember you had said when the Lord of the Rings films came out.
Oh yeah.
That was it your school rented the theater?
Yeah, so like our student activities board, when any movie that engineering nerds would like, so like Lord of the Rings, but also like the Star Wars movies were coming out at the time, they would just rent out an entire theater on like release night for a midnight showing. And with Lord of the Rings, that was a bit, because you got home at 5 a.m. And had like a lab at 8, so that was...
In college, you can do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. A little later in life, that gets very difficult, but in college, there's just enough energy.
But yeah, it was like $2 for a midnight, like $2 a person for a midnight showing with other people from your school. It was nice.
Yeah, that's really good. Whenever I was a kid, we had a dollar movie theater in Myrtle Beach, and that was always exciting. That was the one that we usually went to, so we were always watching movies like 6 months later than everyone else. It didn't matter. Now, in adulthood now, I'm like, I don't even watch movies until years later when they're like on the streaming platform. We had 48 months from Cabri29. Congrats on 4. And 100 bits from Fire Goddess.
Check the art in the queue.
Oh, did you find the ObamaVision?
You can see where it, like the ON is.
I love it. I love it. You can tell that that's Haley, too.
Single pane windows in Wisconsin. It was always freezing.
Yeah, well, also, your dorm was bad.
Oh, it was the second oldest dorm on campus, and that was the last year. It was before the renovation.
Yeah, because you were having, like... You
It was steam heated.
And the pipes kept...
Oh yeah, when there's air pockets and steam heating, they bounce around and make a loud noise.
Yeah.
So it sounded like there were like rats inside the steam heaters.
Yeah.
Like you could hear it banging as it would, like the air pocket would come down the hallway through everyone's room.
Yeah, Mal was having trouble like sleeping.
Yeah.
And it was we're downplaying it a little. It was extremely bad.
It was really bad.
It was really bad. And then Mal went and talked to housing.
Oh, I talked to the head of housing, and I was like, hey, and they were like, well, we're getting ready to get rid of this dorm. It just has to get through this winter. And I'm like, okay, but it's just, you have to bleed the air pockets out of the line. It's not that hard.
And they didn't.
Oh, they did after I complained.
Oh, did they?
When
Oh,
I was
good.
like, I can't sleep. They
Did
were
you
like,
go to
"Oh,
college in the
okay."
early 1900s? The school was built a long time ago. So, yeah.
Yeah, we had radiators in the freshman dorm I was in because, just older building. So.
Sorry, I just
All of campus was heated that way, except the brand new buildings.
I really like Noisy Vomabo, which is ObamaVision backwards. We had 56 months from Jacket K. Jacket, thank you. All right, so we'll start wrapping up because we do have to finish early today. Trying to think what things are happening this week. There's no other streams today, right, Mal?
No.
But tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern, you are doing a...
I'm going to do an acrylic pour stream.
Yes. And what... For those that don't know what that means, they don't know what pour means.
It is liquid acrylic, and you pour it onto wood panels, and they do funky things. And it's kind of just abstract painting. It's a way to kind of have fun, and you can also like paint on top of it later and do stuff.
The background of this was technically...
The rainbow part is.
It was a pour painting.
Yeah.
Started with a pour painting. So...
And Brandon's joining me.
So Mal and Brandon are going to be doing that tomorrow late afternoon at 4 p.m. Eastern. And then tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern... Just finally... I'll be able to put this back on the shelf. Because this has sat on the coffee table for 16 months.
It's going to be stuck to the table by the end.
So, finale of Zelda. Yeah, if folks didn't know, tomorrow's the finale of Zelda. We'll be fighting the bad guy.
Vagabond.
Bowser, I think.
I think it's Bowser.
I'm also going for a long bike ride on Friday, Vagabond.
Yeah, Mal, we'll see what happens, because you need, like, a lot of sleep tonight. Mal wants to get up and do an extremely long bike ride, and then at 4 p.m. is doing a stream, which will probably go right up until it's time to do Zelda. Maybe try and, like, quickly eat a food, and then Zelda is almost certainly going to go long, so... yeah, I hope you're up for
it'll
it.
be fine.
Okay. And Paul, what are you like? I know that you're not doing things on the internet, but like, what are you like? Where are you traveling to? And like,
That you're allowed to talk.
That you're allowed to talk about.
No. I'll fly home today just so that I can fly back to Washington D.C. on Sunday and spend the week there, and then later on in the month I'll be in Las Vegas, and from there, who knows. And also, it's very possible something may come up in the weeks in between, too, that I don't know about yet, so...
Yeah, there's always...
I'm going to be looking forward to seeing what's in my email when I check it after not having checked it for a week. So.
You don't even know where you're going to be going.
No, I may not even be going to D.C. next week. That may have changed. We'll see.
Ember Laris had asked if there were any cool malls lately. Have you seen anything, like, pretty notable since the last time you were in Raleigh?
I've gone to a few random little ones, but I've been going to like the same places over and over again, so I haven't seen a whole lot new really since the last time I was here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad we were able to like mark off those malls last time you were here,
and find a surprise one. Yeah.
Surprise bonus mall. Everyone loves the surprise mall. All right, 26 months from the Let's Gamer, and we'll go ahead and call it there. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful Thursday. And Mal, we'll see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. for pour painting. Yeah. And Paul, thank you as always for joining us.
Thank you for hosting me.
Yeah, always fun to have you. All right, y'all have yourselves a good Thursday. See you tomorrow afternoon.